Any of you guys want a mint?
Thank you, sir.
It's fucked up.
Tony, just to start with you, how much difficulty was it? You prepared for Lee to fight Nate. You know, Nate has a unique style. Was it difficult to make the change given the short notice?
Right-handed to southpaw? Yeah, a little bit. We were more than ready for anybody to step up to the plate. Listen, my corner went for the shot. Should have kept it standing. You know, little details to expand on and to grow from. Nate's a game fighter. Can't say anything else like that. It's not like he's old and slow and stuff. You know what I mean? So hopefully the crowd at UFC 279 that was there and present got some blood splattered on him or something. You know what I mean? So I had fun in there.
I wanted to ask you about your leg. I mean, you kept kicking with that thing. You had a pretty bad gouge in it. Did you get stitches? What was going on with it?
I didn't even realize that I had it was open. I think my right leg was a little bit more hurting. My coach before, my old coach, Coach Billy, said kick the inside of his legs like how you did with RDA. And I knew that too. I started kicking his arms. We were trying to slow down his boxing a little bit. My boxing was starting to make more sense as I got into it. Little details, man. Like I said, just getting in that zone. I just started sparring again, probably maybe 2 months ago. You know, this was probably my 6th time in front of somebody or 5th time in front of somebody. So the game is still interesting to me. We had a game opponent. Short notice, no bullshit, but it was a crazy week, man, and I'm excited about it. My shins don't hurt. I think his legs might hurt a little bit, but put some ice on it.
I wonder, you know, as a guy, you had that, 12 or 13 fight winning streak, and you were at the very top of the mountain for a long period of time.
I'm still at the top of the mountain,
and
brother.
I want to ask you, you know, you fought nothing but great fighters, but what does it feel like when you see all those L's in your column, and does it shake your confidence in yourself?
Are you glad sports are back on in the world?
Sorry, say it again?
Are you glad sports are back on in the world?
Of course.
Well, say thank you then.
Thank you, Tony.
Well, you're fucking welcome. So that's what I'm going to say, dude. I mean, when it comes down to an L, it has to go in what's been put on the table. Putting sports back on in the world, setting an example for these youngsters to not quit, to go in there and fucking not give a shit and take the next fight that's on the land. So I'm going to be real. I don't see any L's. I just see growth. The last 4 fights that I had before this one, I'm going to be real, I was sandbagging. I really wasn't doing anything. My wife called me out. You know, I found a good team. I found a good, most fucking motley crew of people that we could have put together. We made fucking noise. I mean, it was fun as shit, dude. I'm going to be real. From wildcard boxing to over in Albuquerque, to Jackson Wink, to Black House, to my buddy Kalen Walsh, and, you know, my family, obviously, first and foremost, God, and my fucking wife on a 10-year anniversary.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's just been a trip, man. I'm still fucking glad to be here, so I hope you guys are amused for that shit.
And last question for me on that. Just talk about the decision to go for the takedown. What did you see at that point when you went for that takedown?
I should have kept it standing. Period. Got to discuss some things with my cornerman. Nothing bad. Nobody's getting fired. Nobody's doing fucking bad. It's just some adjustments, man. This is a new game for me. It's mixing it up, putting the MMA together. My last guy, Lee, was a right-hander. If I would have went for the takedown, it would have been on his lead. It would have been a little bit more difficult for him to do that kind of stuff. But Nate, he prepared for Khamzat. You saw Khamzat when he took down Kevin Holland. He took him out on the right side. It was a right-handed opponent that was on his lead jab. He went straight and put him down. Guarantee you, Nate was looking for that guillotine the whole entire camp. They had a full camp to be able to do stuff. I mean, it is what you practice. And we did a lot of wrestling practice, and we did a lot of good stuff. It was just unfortunate, man. Shit happens. Wish I would have made it to the 5th round. You know, I know what to do better next time. Fucking sucks.
Tony, over here. It was obviously a very good fight, but there were moments when Nate was he would turn his back to you, he'd put his hands up on the cage, he would point at you. So
I laid down on the floor, bro.
So it seems like you guys were having fun in there, but what were you guys saying during the fight?
We didn't say nothing. We were just, I kicked him in the shit and he was like, ow, and you know what I mean? It was just a lot of just having fun. I hope you guys had a lot of fun. I haven't had a fight like that ever. It was the coolest experience I probably could have had, being in front of everybody, being the most calm, super chill, bringing it out there. I mean, there was a lot of quick finishes before, so it wasn't like we got a shitty warm-up. You know, although when I go in the back and I put my hoodie on, it was an extra small. You know, so it was kind of weird, but like I said, it's none of this stuff matters. It's what you do outside of there. And seeing the crowd, seeing Hunter, seeing everybody that was right there, it was dope, dude. It felt like I was back in where I needed to be. And I haven't felt like that, ladies and gentlemen, for a fucking long time. Pardon my language. You know, mentally strong, physically strong, emotionally strong. I feel good. I'm ready for the next one.
And you had mentioned you were obviously Lee's heavy-handed, right-handed. Nate is a volume puncher, southpaw. But you also went from 3 to 5 rounds. Did you feel it in there in the fourth round? Any?
Not really. I mean, we were prepared for 3 rounds, but I've been in this sport for a long time, especially with the UFC. I've been employed by the UFC since 2011. I fought 6 times in 2011, like literally, and then I can fight all the damn time. I'm gonna be real. If there's a game opponent, we have plenty of time. Obviously, not taking short notice fights. But being game for the company, being able to do this. And then, like I said, these younger generations, they see guys like me, they see guys like Nate, and they see us stepping up. Can we fucking quit making so much noise? So look, put it this way. I have a lot to learn. I have very little ego when it comes to learning. I listen to my coaches, I listen to my training partners, I listen to my trainers, my cornermen. And I have a few things to work on. So as far as the volume and the punches go, when I made the switches, I was collecting them, man, and the inside leg kick was working.
Will you stay at welterweight? I know you said at media day I think you were 14-2 at welterweight. This one was there. Are you going to stay there?
Oh, man, I hang my hat at 2 different places besides home. I'm going to be real. At 55 and at 70. At 70, it's been, 10, 11 years? I mean, shit, I was, 14-2 with mostly knockouts? My body literally just got used to it. I fought in May. I lifted heavy. I was taking some weight gainer protein, doing it right. 5 exercises a day, 3 reps apiece. You know what I mean? Doing it like old school, high school, man, football. And I enjoyed it. The fans and the supporters, my family even first. I mean, just it was a different me out there, and it's a different me right now. And I'm fucking thankful. Thank to God, man, that we both came out of there happy and healthy.
And finally, you obviously said you have a lot of respect for Nate. Nate has a lot of respect for you. This was his last fight on his deal with the UFC. What would you like to see him do after this?
I got the invite to their camp. So I'm going to be real, which is super cool. I got my own camp, which is awesome, but I'm not going to say no to them. Those guys are pretty fucking cool. I mean, we run California, you know what I mean? And we do a lot for this sport. So as much as we would want to fight, we have to make things right, for the UFC and the contracts and stuff. But I wish them nothing but the best, him and Nick and their whole entire crew. They're tough, man, and it's cool as shit to be a part of that vibe that's right there. And like I said, Cuckoo is a legend. I'm not going fucking nowhere, man.
Tony, just to over here. First, how easy or difficult was the negotiations yesterday?
Say that one more time.
How easy or difficult were the negotiations yesterday?
Well, we didn't have the president calling Dana and Dana saying, "Hey, are you in, kid?" But when it went down to it, it was kind of like a reminder of the pandemic. You know what I mean? You got 2 Russians, like Nate said. You got Khabib, who ran away at me at UFC 209. And at the last one, I forget which number it was. It was like a whole bunch of them, right? And then you had Kamzat on purposely miss weight. I'm going to be real. Like, starting all that shit, it could have been a facade. So he could have fucking just whatever. I'm going to be real. But when it comes down to it, we're fighting in America. I'm an American citizen. I fight with fucking everything in my body for that red, white, and blue. You have no fucking clue, guys. I've been in sports for 34 years. And every single time that I went to an event, there was a fucking star-spangled banner. It was taking off your hat, putting it over your heart, and then fucking having respect for it. I fight for my nation. I fight for this company, and I fight for my heritage, and especially my family and God. And I'm very lucky to be able to do what I can do, man. I'm a very lucky guy.
And the other one, just curious, between rounds, you were reading something off the wristband of your coach. Is that strategic? Is that inspirational? What are you kind of getting from that?
That's for me and my corners, guys. It was kind of like Tekken. I don't know if you guys, anybody play Tekken? Anybody? Raise your hands.
When I was 9.
Okay, who's your favorite character?
Okay, I don't know what his name was.
You don't even know his name is? You're a button masher, aren't you?
King.
King, all right, Armored King. Hey, but you know when you have the instructions like that's pretty much what I had on the stuff. It was like Morse code for me. So it was combos, some good inspirational stuff, and it's been something that I've done for a little bit. And you guys got a sneak peek of it. Put a patent on that bitch.
Tony, you were this was one of the craziest weeks in MMA, and you were part of that. So, and you touched on it a little bit with his question, but what was it like behind the scenes and leading up when they came to you, and did you know that they were going to come to you to?
I literally asked Nate if he wanted a mint right before he threw the bottle. As much shit as it possibly is, I was an old school bartender. If there was ever a scuffle inside the bar, you know what I mean, I would jump across the bar and I would just handle shit like a security guard. this fight and everything else was kind of like that. There was a bunch of random stuff just going on. For me, it was just trying to keep the peace, trying to stay focused, and these guys were making a whole bunch of noise. So I had to yell at Camzat and Kevin to shut the fuck up, and they did for a second. And then here comes Nate and everything, and I was like, that's cool. He's all right. And so me and D-Rod were throwing the ball around, and here comes Nate. And then, like I said, I went up to him and asked him for a mint, or asked him if he wanted a mint, just to kind of just keep him chill for a second, man. We're like, hey, it's a calm before the storm right now. We don't need to be so hype. And he did his shit, like I said, and he came over and got his mint. You know what I mean? If it wasn't, shit, I don't know how to explain it, man. Fighters, no fighters. Real fighters, no fighters. And I'm from the 805, he's from the 209, and I'm from the 231 as well. And shit, man, east, north, west, every fucking direction you can go, man. We're tough as shit here, and I really express that.
And you came out to the crowd after that happened, the scuffle backstage. Why did you come out to the crowd and
I just feel like so many people just come here, dude. It's just like so serious all the fucking time. I've been that way. You guys have seen me with these press conferences and everything. It's not old news. It's not great. It's just, it is what it is, I guess you would say. But like I said, just having fun, man. Just having that fun vibe, so that way people can enjoy the show. You know, I brought that baseball out there. I should have signed it before I chucked it. My son was like, why'd you throw it over there? I was like, oh, shit, fuck. Yeah, you know. Shit happens, which is cool, but it was for them. It was for everybody that was outside there, because I would have been bummed too. I would have been like, shit, man, we just walked that whole entire way in this hot-ass weather. Come on now. Get out there, say what's up, sneak up on stage like I was at a concert for a second. You know, cool. Never done that, so it was pretty cool and probably the closest thing I could do.
do you think, I couldn't help but think that this fight could have been for the BMF title.
It was for the CSO title, man. It could have been something, you know what I mean? I like the trophies, I like the medals, and I like the charts. Long time ago, I got burned out, and I started tearing my charts apart. I would take my medals and throw them in the woods, and I would get pissed at myself because I would be so burned out on the sport. I find a new passion for this sport, guys. From my heart, I really do, which is fucking crazy and incredible. Because, I mean, you think after 34 years, you would just get burned out on everything. But seeing you guys being up here at the press conference again, being able to do this, win or lose, that's a fucking honor, man.
Back here, Tony, even when you saw Nate throw the bottle backstage, did you even think that this card could be reshuffled the way that it was?
I wanted to give him the baseball, but I don't think he's as accurate as me. So you guys have seen me with the baseball. I get hit, so I get something. So I told him, what was your question? I forgot. I was having fun.
When you saw him throw the bottle, it was a crazy moment backstage. Did you even think that it could escalate to the fact that the whole main card was going to get reshuffled?
Not really. I'm gonna be real. I practice with D-Rod once in a while, you know, and then Kevin Holland's pretty cool. I think it was just a solid fucking main card, which was pretty dope. So I mean, even if they did shuffle it up, or look, put it this way, the matchmakers are fucking geniuses. It's not easy to do their job, guys. I'm gonna be real. The promoter's job to be able to do that, getting up on stage in the middle of the podium, that shit had me nervous even when I went out there for a second. I was just like, next question. So I want to be real. Like I said, you know, maybe I should have threw a bottle too. Fuck it, I don't know.
Last question for me. You found a new passion for the sport, and you just said you can do this forever. You can't do it forever, ever.
I can do it forever, lady.
What else in
I do
this
some of my
sport-
best work in the dark.
What else in this sport could you see yourself doing, Tony, if you're not a fighter?
I'm already going back to school for business in Harvard in about a month, in a couple weeks actually. So I kept my word, and I'm keeping my word. So you guys are like, well, he's gonna go back to school. Yeah, right. No, I'm going back to school. I'm going for my business credentials from Harvard, and my buddy Lloyd and then Vitor Belfort, they're helping me with that. And after that, I'm gonna go back to school and get my PT. So I'm gonna keep my word like I've always have, and I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna do this shit, and I'm gonna do that shit. It's like me going back to school in college. And competing in wrestling. So thank you guys very much. Appreciate it. Hope you had fun.